All right, we are at King's. We actually just borrowed the trailer from Ayed. The plan is basically to try to get the McLaren loaded on the trailer so we can get it back to DDE HQ, which is going to be pretty difficult with it being stuck in park. Do you have a tape measure I could borrow real quick?
Yeah, we do.
I just want to make sure the car isn't too wide for the trailer because I think it should fit, but before we get it all the way over there. I know these cars are kind of wide and sometimes trailers are just a little bit narrow. Big hassle to try to get this thing moved over there in the first place.
Got it? Yeah. So we're looking at about 77.
77, yeah. So,
77. I think we should be fine.
We should be good. But it's going to be close though. I think it's probably like an 80-inch.
81.
81. All right.
So we got it.
We're good. Yeah. Got a couple inches to spare on each side.
Now jump.
That is pretty sick. So the whole thing stays nice and low and drops down a ton. Oh, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's sick.
One of the body shops removed the hood latch to make sure that the hood wouldn't get closed, but we got to remember to tape this hood closed before we start on our way back, because if this thing pops open, I'm guessing that is very, very expensive. I do not want to damage the hood or the windshield. It's another very expensive part. If this hood flies open on the way back and smashes the windshield and the roof of the car, parts that are not damaged, I may actually get fired. And before we start jacking this thing up and pushing it, I'm just gonna give it another shot and see if we can get it in neutral today. Sometimes electronic things are just finicky, so see how it goes. Fingers crossed.
Now push the e-brake.
I don't think the brake is on.
Yeah, but I think last time is something with the e-brake.
I think it's in gear, because if the e-brake was on, the car wouldn't rock at all.
Yeah, because what happened last time in the trailer, if you remember, what he did, I think after he put it like in neutral, and he just released the e-brake.
Yeah, but
So-
it doesn't say the e-brake's on.
Trying to put it like maybe in park and put it in neutral maybe. Oh, here we go.
Now is it off or is it on now?
I think it's on now.
I think it's on now.
Is it on now? Okay, now it's on. Now it's on. Try to put it on. Hold on, dude.
Well, now it might not roll at all. Feels on.
It feels on to me.
Is it off or is it on?
I'm pretty sure it's on.
Try again.
The dash, when you want to go up this time?
Nope.
Oh, the door doesn't want to open?
No, the door will open. It's just parking brake's not doing anything now.
So we're going to try to open the door and close it again.
Yeah.
Turn it off, close the door.
Yeah. Well, it's not even really coming on.
So
It's like the lights up here, but the dash isn't active. It almost like turns on and then just shuts itself off. You know, Damon said that they started it after the crash and then it died, but it didn't have the intake tube on it, which makes sense. It would start and die, but now it's not even turning the ignition on, which is really odd. I'll try to do a lock.
Mirrors work.
Something still works. All right, I do an unlock. And then close the door. Key in the cup holder. Ignition.
nothing.
Not on.
Okay,
Nothing.
let's put the dollies.
We'll at least get this off the lift area, get it over there, and I think we can probably put some cardboard or something under it to let the wheels slide on something to get it onto the trailer. I don't know exactly how this transmission works, if it's completely locked and it's gonna drag the wheels, or if it'll allow the engine to just rotate. So many unknowns, but gotta figure it out. It's almost like drifting. The back end of the car is moving on its own.
Got it.
All right, got it, and it's locked in. I don't need that thing popping off towards the front of this car.
The key lost.
Tim, do you have the remote?
I lost it.
Are you?
You lost it. Oh. Heaven, bro.
There we go. strapped down and good to go. Thank you so much for helping us out with this thing and getting it all straightened out. Now it's our job to get it running.
I know.
And all the other complicated systems on this car to work. But yeah, I'm excited.
Gonna be a tough one.
At least we know the suspension's bolted on, the frame is straight.
Absolutely. It's
Yeah.
the best thing.
Yeah, exactly. We missed our window. I hope they can slot us in somewhere early, you know, like in the next week or so, but this is just wishful thinking at this point.
Yeah.
So it is what it is, but you know, we still have other stuff we need to do and
course,
get
yeah.
ready. So,
Yeah.
but I
And then
appreciate it.
As soon as we get the rest of the body.
Yeah, and then
You know what I
you'll
mean?
see us again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Mike,
Thank you very much.
Always a pleasure working with
Always
you.
a pleasure working with
Yep.
you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Take
See
care.
you. All right, guys. Have a good one.
All right, guys, ready to head back to the shop and try to get this thing off the trailer?
Let's go.
All right, more fun.
Damon and Dave told me that they were thinking about having the car brought down today, but they were going to let me know what time. It's already too late to receive it today.
We've had an issue with a car. We can't get the ignition turned on, so we can't get it in neutral and we can't get the parking brake off. We just picked up the car from the body shop and we got it onto the flatbed. So we're just gonna take it back to our shop and see if we can either charge the battery if that's the issue or whatever. But even with a jumper pack on it, the ignition wouldn't turn on.
Preferably for that car to be received here, it's got to be between like 8 at the latest, 3. Latest in the afternoon, 3.
Okay, got it. Yeah, we'll try to sort this out and I'll get back to you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Bye. Yes, sir.
Bye. Looks like we may have another opportunity. The service advisor over there is being very, very helpful and understanding, which is absolutely amazing. I think we need to get this thing done as soon as possible because I don't want this window to close. If it's possible that we could get the car in there this week and he's willing to receive it and take care of it for us, we really need to sort this thing out quick. All right, we made it back to the HQ. I can see that the suspension was moving up and down a bit because it blew that cover off over there, that little plug, and there's some shock fluid on here.
I'm nervous, bro. I don't know how we're gonna get this off.
All right, I have an idea. So I think our best bet is we'll back this thing all the way in, up to the 2-post lift, and then
Okay.
we'll use a couple ratchet straps and we'll hook the car on to the 2-post lift, and then I will drive the trailer forward until we get the rear wheels off of it, and then continue to drive forward until the front wheels are off of it, and we'll put cardboard underneath the back of the trailer so we don't scratch up the floors and scratch up the trailer. That's my plan.
I feel like every bad idea starts with the 2-post lift. When we had to move the finger brake off, it was the 2-post lift.
Yep.
When we had to lift the Ferrari engine out, it was the 2-post lift. And here we go.
And we're just doing it again with something different and more expensive this time.
Yes. At least we know it works, right?
It's a tried and true. It's been proven multiple times. I mean, what could go wrong?
That dually wheel's too close.
In the mirror, I'm looking at this tire and it looks
Yeah.
like I'm about to run this car over. It's so hard to see too
Yeah.
because the difference between the bright outside and inside, it's like completely darkening. I can't see anything. And I do need to kick it over more, which I can't do. So I'm gonna have to like shift over a little bit to that side and kind of like get it started in this direction so I don't crash into the Evo.
That wouldn't be good.
That would not be good. Pretty nervous, Mark.
Dude, why?
Car's, this trailer barely fits in the door.
Oh, this is it.
Now, I think if we put this left frame rail and we tie it around here, then that's probably about as good as we're gonna get. So, it's gonna work. It's gotta work. How else are we gonna get this thing off of here? I mean, if this is a cheap car, I wouldn't be that worried. But I think the wheels on this car alone are over $10,000 and they are not damaged. I do not want to do any damage to those. It's really tight on both sides of the trailer here. And if the trailer starts to move a little sideways and we hit one of these carbon fiber rims against the trailer, not only will I damage the wheel, I'll also scratch up my Ed's trailer. I hope this goes smoothly. I do have some doubts. I hope this works.
That's so cool.
this trailer is really awesome. It's making this process, which is really sketchy, a lot easier. It is free. So if it decides to go in neutral right now and release parking brake, we're going to have more damage on the back of the 720. So hopefully that won't happen. I'll start driving forward and you guys let me know if it starts looking really sketchy.
All right, let's get the radios. That way you can
That's a
actually
good
hear
idea.
us.
That's a good
I want
idea.
to make sure you can hear us. All right, Tim, here you go.
Thank you.
Radio check, radio check. Check. I got you. Line of clear.
All right, Mark here.
Watch the other side.
Yeah, I can watch the other side.
Are you guys ready for this?
Hey, Tim, are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
Hey, Tim, are you ready for this? I couldn't hear you.
Working? It's working.
How's that side?
It's okay. It's close, though. Do you need help, Tim?
Yeah,
Let me find some cardboard.
Do you know where there's any cardboard? Hey, Tim, I don't think there's any cardboard here. Yeah, there's definitely cardboard somewhere else other than right here.
they're giving away cardboard for
Mike,
free
hold
in the
on,
trash.
Mike, I can't hear you.
Oh,
Hey, Mark, they're giving away cardboard for free in the trash.
Dude, that's crazy. What happened to Tim?
back here.
We're good.
Okay, keep going. Gentlemen, the Eagle has landed. Congratulations on a successful mission.
Houston, we do have a problem. The car's still broken.
Well, yeah, I knew that.
Mike, what is this? Is this from the AC?
No. That is all shock fluid that is all over the trailer right now.
Oh, cool.
With this issue we're having, the power seems low. It doesn't seem like the battery is actually working well. Even with the jumper pack on it, we're still having issues, but either way, the battery is pretty much dead. So we're gonna put this charger on it and leave it overnight. And hopefully the battery will have some power tomorrow and we can diagnose the issues. We'll see. I don't know if this battery is completely dead and it's basically bricked. It is a lithium ion battery, which means it's a smart battery. So it has the battery cells inside of the plastic case, and then it has basically an ECU for the battery. And if the voltage gets too low, it shuts it down so that the battery doesn't drain all the way and cause any damage. And I think we might be in that mode. So I don't even know if it's going to charge right now. I'll have to see if we can trick it into starting to let it charge. But first step, trickle charger on it, see if it'll bring some juice in tomorrow morning. I'm hoping that we don't have to buy a battery because I think they're $3,000 or $4,000. McLaren parts, right? They're just crazy expensive. Oh, there we go. We've got 3.3 volts. Yeah, this battery is very, very low, and it drops down to 1.6 volts as it's charging, and then it kicks up to 3.3 volts.
Or is it 3.3 when it's charging?
Maybe. Well, it's doing something. It may take a while, but we're gonna leave it overnight and see what happens. These batteries are kind of finicky. Still doesn't make sense why we had the jumper pack on there. We had 13 volts and the ignition still wouldn't turn on. Hopefully tomorrow when we get here, it'll start up. Yep, that's what I thought. As I kind of thought, I think the battery is in a state where it's basically not letting it charge. There's no voltage in the battery whatsoever. So the charger couldn't wake it back up. We're trying to get to the battery now to remove it, to try to get a charge on it with a bigger charger, or maybe jump start it with some jumper cables and another car that's running. The alternator is going to put out a lot of power and it might jump start the battery. We're also going to try just the charger because, well, right now we've got a water tank and a meth tank and a water pump a lot of hoses that are running through this panel. So to get this panel off, I've got to remove the water tank, the meth tank, the water pump, all these hoses. It's gonna take hours, and I don't wanna deal with that right now. I wanna see if we can wake up the battery first without having to do all that. So we're gonna give it a shot with the charger. They do not make this easy to access. I don't know if this is a smart charger also that won't actually turn on unless it sees a battery.
It's not coming on. It's not saying charge.
Charging, maintain.
now it's
Okay,
on.
now it's on. It just didn't want to go to 40 amp boost. We have that battery out of the F12. There's no way it's going to fit in there, but if we get some jumper cables and we hook up that battery with the jumper cables, then we know we have a good working battery. And whether this battery is flat or not, we can connect it to the terminals to the car and power the car up, and maybe that'll work. But we don't have any jumper cables, do we?
I have some in my car.
Oh!
Yeah, dude.
Oh, yeah.
I'm always ready.
Hell yeah, let's go.
I can help you out, man.
Well, I saw your parking job over here.
Oh yeah, dude. Right down the middle. Right down the middle.
It's like an airplane landing on a runway, right? You just got to hit that center stripe.
That's all it is. Whatever you need, Mike. There you go. There you
Look
go.
at
There's some
that.
mechanics gloves too. I'm
There you
a
go.
hard worker.
Chuck
Thanks,
those back
brother.
in there for you. Absolutely. Thank you.
Oh, no problem. Anytime you need help, man.
These are good ones too. These are nice thick cables.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, a lot of ones they sell are like those little micro ones that like catch
Watch
on
'em
fire
melt,
when you're
yeah.
trying to start a car.
I'm pretty sure that battery's a lot bigger than this one.
It is like double the size and quadruple the weight. It is
Yeah.
much heavier. That's, I know, a good charged battery. This smart charger won't turn on basically because it doesn't really even see a battery there. It thinks the terminals are almost even just disconnected. And it's kind of like a new safety thing they put on it. Where the old school battery chargers, like you could turn it on and, you know,
Rev
like
'em
you
up.
see in the movies where they clamp it on somebody. You know, I'm not gonna say where they clamp them on and they get electrocuted. Well, that's not real life either. But that battery
Oh, I was
charger,
hoping we could
I
do
know,
that
right?
today. Oh, jeez.
You don't have any piercings in this area, do you, Mark?
Not that you know of.
Well,
The day is young. The day is young, Mike.
I do not know you that well, do I? It's like no matches, no fire. Also, no kids holding hands over here, all right? There will be none of that
No.
around this car. Oh, we got some power at least.
Whoa.
That lit up.
Not yet.
Interesting.
What's going on with this thing?
I wonder if the battery's not.
Oh, it's locking. But yeah, you know what? Get the battery charger now and put the battery charger on that battery.
So we're gonna run the F12 battery to the 720, and this battery to that battery to that battery.
Yes, we're gonna triple it up right now.
Nice. Let
Yes.
me know if you need a fourth. I got more cables.
We may.
Yeah,
'cause
hook
this
it up
is-
to the 599 and run that too.
We'll just daisy chain all the cars together.
I know. All right, everyone, rev it on 3. Whoa, 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 whoa.
What? Something happened?
I hear clicking. Maybe arcing.
Clicking is not a good thing. Okay.
Oh.
2 amp charge maintain came on, but we probably need more than that.
Oh, definitely.
Oh, it's on 40
Oh
boost.
my goodness.
Okay, so now let's try it.
Sounds like it has power now.
The door's open.
The doors are up.
Oh, but the dash is still not opening.
I don't think it's supposed to until the ignition turns on. But look at that. Wait,
Wait.
Wait, and it went back in.
Oh.
it was just teasing me. Come on. It's like, is it stuck? Oh, it's stuck.
It's like a
It needs some
CD
assistance.
drive.
Okay. Ooh, that does not sound good.
Maybe it's like an old VCR.
That's what I'm. Yeah, it's stuck.
Please be kind.
There's 2
Rewind.
CDs in there right now.
Okay, this is one of the dumbest things I've ever seen in a car. Why do you need your dash to disappear when you're going fast.
Because it's a track car, Mike. It's a track car, Mike.
Track cars have a lot of stuff on the gauges. You have all these things you're monitoring: oil pressure, water temperature, gearbox temperature. I mean, there's so many things that you like. Even brake pressure should be on the dash on a race car. Why?
Because I would imagine most of the guys that track their McLaren don't know what any of that means.
I would say that
They
most
want to know
guys
speed.
that track McLarens don't actually track them. Calling you guys out. Let's see you at the track.
Oh no!
Come on!
What in the world?
This is what we have to look forward to in the future with AI. It's like, nope, not today.
Whoa!
That sounds a lot better, huh?
Something's going on.
Yeah.
Well, that's even better.
All right. Well, so I think that battery is so bricked, it's actually pulling power out of this battery. It's like draining it into that battery. Let's see what the voltage is now.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's way better.
12.7. We got actual battery voltage coming out of this thing now. All
right, let's give it a shot now.
Let's give it another shot.
You think it's gonna work?
I hope so.
Me too.
You ready?
Yeah.
Oh, we got the pings and pongs.
Dude. Well, we've had this before though.
I know, but this is more promising because last time it was shutting off.
Call McLaren Service Center.
No, I think it ran out of power.
No way, that fast? What's going on with this thing?
I heard the pump turn off, whatever the pump up run is.
I think the pump does all the shocks. So I think it's like building shock pressure up, and maybe that pulled a bunch of power. All right, so we just got to leave this thing on the charger for a few minutes and try to get some power in that battery. More promising than it has since we pulled the car off the trailer when we first dropped it off at King's. I think this thing is just very, very power hungry. It's just taking a lot of amps to operate everything. And we just got to let this thing charge up and cross our fingers that in an hour when this thing's charged up, we can actually turn this thing on. Trying to see how much coolant is in this thing. Very hard to tell. I don't see any, which is not a great sign. I didn't see any leaks, but we could have had some radiator that broke on that side and then just dumped all of the coolant out.
When it was crashed, there was a big puddle underneath that right tire.
I mean, I know that the brakes were like the brake line was broken off,
Yeah.
so you know, and then he was on the brakes, obviously trying to stop the car, and it was just, you know, spewing brake fluid out there. But I don't know how big the puddle was.
It's pretty big.
It's big.
Pretty big.
That's dry. That's not good. I didn't see a crack in the radiator when we were looking at it. It does look like it's bent right here. This is pushed over, but I don't see a bunch of water. Can't see anything that's obviously like broken. Sometimes these mounts will crack and break the radiator tank because these are just plastic. Oh, I see water dripping right here.
Dude.
I think that's broken. I think it broke on the bottom on these mounting tabs. That's where the water's coming from right there. And this is twisted. So this plastic end tank has these basically cast plastic pieces that come straight down. But as it got hit and this radiator got pushed forward, it snapped it off. A lot of cars are like that. Porsches are like that too. The radiator's in the front of a Porsche. Actually, perfect example right here. If you go off, or if you bump over a big pothole or curb or something, it'll actually push the radiator up and there's a tab and it'll break off and destroy the radiator and pour all the coolant out, which is what looks like happened over here. It's possible to start the car without any coolant, but it's kind of a big risk, especially on an engine like this that is extremely expensive. I think they paid, I don't know, $100,000 for this engine. This is a built basically race engine for 1,500 horsepower. I don't want to take any risks. We're not going to fire up the car today. We need to replace that radiator. I mean, obviously we need to get the ignition to turn on first, get it to go in neutral, get the parking brake released, all those other things, but starting it up, unfortunately, is not going to happen today. It's unfortunate that, you know, finding that cracked radiator, I don't know what they cost new. I'm guessing $5 grand, $6, $7, $8 grand with the brackets and all that stuff, the fan shroud assembly. It's gonna be really expensive and it's gonna be just another delay to get this car back on the road. All right, well, we let this thing charge for a while and I'm getting anxious. I wanna jump in here and see if the ignition will turn on now.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, what?
Like it went backwards.
Yeah.
200 amp engine start.
Oh, it's ramping up now.
All right, well, we're at almost 13 volts now. So frustrating. Those connections look good. These connections are all right. That's solid.
Try one more time, maybe.
Almost.
Mark, how many more jumpers do you have?
That's all I had, Tim.
But still just does not want to turn on for some reason. It's like almost there. You know what? Let's try it again, but put the voltmeter on there and see what it does. Like if it drops down to 10 volts or something when we're doing it, then we know something's up. All right, you guys ready?
Ready.
All right, hitting it now.
Oh, she's sucking down, Mark. It only went down to about 12 flat. Maybe try closing the door and opening it again.
I mean, it seems like it's, well, I don't know. I don't know anything about this car. This thing is just super weird. You ready?
Ready.
What's it doing?
Going down to about 1208 right now.
So just 12 volts.
Yeah.
All right, let's see when it comes back up. I'm gonna hit the unlock button again.
11.9.
All right, I'm gonna hit the ignition.
Yep.
What's it at now?
11.9. 12.
I mean, the voltage is low. 11.9 is low, but it should be enough to turn the ignition on to get the car to start. I mean, ideally it would be like 12.5, 12.7. It seems odd that it just isn't turning the ignition on.
All right, Tim, what are you reading?
I'm reading almost 12.5, so.
That's it?
That's it.
What's going on? We've had this thing on for another half an hour and it's only at 12.5 and it's on the 40 amp boost. I'm going to lock it. Does it always do that weird
I think
beep
so.
when you lock it?
Maybe it's telling you the hood's up.
Okay, unlock.
Is it reading anything, Tim?
Feel that. Oh, now it dropped to 12.2.
12.2.
Okay. And ignition on, kind of, not. We're getting absolutely nowhere with this thing. Okay, well, this isn't working. Let's try to jump it off the Ferrari and see if that will wake this thing up.
599 time?
599 time.
599 time.
All right, close your ears. Gotten this car to jump the McLaren battery, it has woken it up, and we do have 12.5 volts on the McLaren battery now. That's good. So we're gonna put the battery charger on it and try to just build up some more juice in it, get all the amps that we can. I'm still pretty confused on what's going on. It shows that we have the voltage, and if we have 12.7 volts, that usually means you have a decent amount of amps. Still not sure what's going on because we hit the ignition, it almost turns on, the dash starts to come out, and it just tucks back in. Charger off.
It's holding it.
Last time we checked, it was like 12 volts basically on here. And now it's showing not even 1 volt. So the battery is disconnected itself internally. I thought we were getting somewhere. So just out of curiosity, I looked up the price of a 720 battery.
Okay.
And on the McLaren Life website, it says dead battery, and the dealer wants $6,600. $7,000 to put a battery in this
Are you
thing.
kidding me?
And I'm guessing it's $6,000 of it is the battery because It probably takes an hour to swap it out. That's a pricey battery.
Very.
We got power again because that light turned on.
It was on the whole time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But I just checked the battery and it had 0 volts.
For some reason.
Maybe when I turned the jumper off, or the charger off, the battery turned back on.
Yeah, we got 12.8 now. All right,
Baffling.
Charger back on.
Well, all right, so, well, now it's on the battery and we got 12.8 volts.
Yeah.
I mean, we charged that battery for a while. No, we opened the door, it popped open for 1 second. It's like, nope. Just kidding.
Whoa. Oh, whoa! What?
Okay, now, ignition on. Dude, but what did that? I opened the door and then it popped out.
Ferrari battery it is.
Bring it over.
All right, moment of truth.
Yeah, is it actually in neutral?
Whoa!
Oh, it's in neutral. Does that mean I can just let this be McLaren's problem now?
I think it might.
I mean, we saved so much money buying this suspension used that we've got, I don't know, $100,000 we can spend at the McLaren dealership now.
they'll be happy to take it.
Right, Damon?
All right, Mark. Moment of truth. You think it's gonna work?
I hope so.
I don't have faith.
I don't have high hopes either, but let's see. Nope, that does not look promising. I just had a very, very good phone call with Alex Gintani. He gave me tons of info on this car. I started telling him what the issues were. Then he's like, you're wasting your time. It was not going to work. So apparently the car wants to see that factory battery is there and it wants to show how many days are left of charge, and it shows that on the dash. And right now it's 2 lines basically saying there is nothing left. Even when we have the jumper pack, even when we had the car on it, the other battery, it did not change. It just had the 2 dash lines. And a couple days ago, when we were picking the car up from King's Auto Body Shop, it actually said 3 days left. And then as we were hitting the button, it said 2 days left, and it went to 0 that fast. So Alex basically said if it does not say it has at least 5 or 10 days left, it won't even turn on. Step number 1, he said, is get a battery. Hopefully with a battery and a radiator and all the stuff we've got hooked up here, we may be able to fire this thing up next time. I feel like we're moving forward and we've accomplished something.